Hi there, and welcome to Faces of Family Law. We are so excited to bring with you Magistrate Beth Luna today. She is appointed as a magistrate in the 4th Judicial Circuit, and we are very pleased to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about what you do, where you're located, and all that.
Sure. So I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I am currently appointed in the 4th Judicial Circuit, specifically in Clay County, as a general magistrate and special magistrate, I guess technically. I am currently overseeing cases that are referred to me in family law, dependency, and in the mental health areas. So I have a kind of diverse, fun job, which I enjoy very much. So
that's wonderful. I know you've been a member of the Family Law Section for quite some time, and you've served on a number of committees. You're on the Executive Council now. What are you focusing on this year during your term on the Executive Council?
Well, this year I am co-chairing Rules and Forms. It's my second year co-chairing that committee, and so I spend a lot of time on that particular committee, which I think is a great committee to serve on because the Rules and Forms obviously impact not only attorneys, but self-represented individuals. So it's a really fun process to kind of get to look at those rules as they're being developed from different aspects to see how they impact attorneys that practice, people that are self-represented, and trying to make those rules better for all of us, and so that everyone has access to justice, even if they're not represented. So I really enjoyed that particular committee. And I'm also Secretary of Legislation this year. This is my second year doing that, and the Legislation Committee is probably my favorite. I think everybody should do it once. It's a phenomenal opportunity to really watch the legislative process if you're not familiar with it in Tallahassee and see how that works. In addition, I think it's a great place to make a really huge impact for Florida's families because the family law section is, unique in that we bring this perspective of having to deal with the laws as they're written, the impacts that they have on families. And so it's a lot of fun and very interesting and very educational to look at proposed bills and statutes to see what you think about them and how they can be better, to maybe even write or draft those things through the committee, to make changes that really benefit families for this state. So I think it's a great committee and I'm enjoying both of them this year.
Well, you certainly have your hands full. Thank you for all you do for the section. If someone is new, as a new member of the section, what advice would you give them? Who's considering serving on a committee?
Well, I guess I would say this is don't be afraid to get in there and get involved. I mean, I think particularly coming out of North Florida, there's a lot of people from South Florida on the committees, and I think that's probably I don't think anybody disagree with that statement. So, when you're kind of coming into that, it can be a little intimidating, I think, because a lot of them people from South Florida, they tend to know each other because they're running in the same circles. But you know what? It's phenomenal to get to know attorneys from all across the state. And it's good to get in there and get to know those individuals because it really broadens your practice. It broadens what you know about family law because you're getting different perspectives. And you have this great networking ability and base to be able to learn, pop ideas off of, just all kinds of things that are really worthwhile. So that would be the one thing I would tell people and really encourage is don't be afraid to get in there and get to know them because it is a really warm group. They have gotten to be for me very much like family at times. And so I think that's a good thing. And one tip I will give you on the easiest ways to do that is once COVID-19 lifts, the section retreats are often smaller events and you really get to know people at them. So I think if you've got the ability to go to those, it's a great opportunity to get to know people that are active in the section and hopefully get to be a part. But yeah, I think everybody should join. It's a great group.
I think there's a trip coming up in April, I believe, to Montreal.
If that goes forward with COVID.
It's on the books right now, but
yeah. But if it is, but yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about this section. It's been really good to me. And I think the biggest benefit of the section is the people, honestly. So
people like you who dedicate and volunteer their time. Thank you so much. Final question. Can you share with us something that we may not know about you?
So, okay, you sent me this question ahead of time and I really put some thought into it. And the one thing I know that nobody knows about me and probably wonders is my actual age. But what I'm going to tell you is today is not the day that I'm going to reveal that. So what I will tell you is one thing that I think maybe a lot of people don't know is that I actually grew up on a farm. So I'm a farm kid. I grew up in rural Tennessee on a farm that's been in my family now for 2 generations, where they had raised beef cattle. And that being said, that one little thing would lead you to about a dozen other things that people don't know about me. Like, I'm really good at identifying breeds of cows. I ride a horse better than I do a bike. All those things are things that probably I could have 20 conversations about things you don't know about me, because I think most people think I'm like the big city kid, but I'm so not. And I would love at some point to maybe return back to that farm. My parents are still there. But, you know, for the time being, I really enjoy the community I'm in and the job that I have. And I'm very blessed and grateful to work with amazing judges and colleagues and attorneys within the Fourth Judicial Circuit.
So what drove you to seek a career in law?
Well, honestly, my parents told me I needed to make enough money to afford a horse. And in all honesty, and my aunt was an attorney. And so I think in my child's eyes, somewhere about probably elementary school, this seemed like a great choice. I thought, oh, I'll be so wealthy, I can have a farm full of horses. And so everyone knows, currently I have 0 horses. But I miss them. I would like for them to be a bigger part of my life. So I'm hoping to eventually get back that way hopefully in the next year, but we'll see.
Well, we're glad that you're here now. So thank you so much, Beth. That was such a great conversation. And
you're welcome.
We appreciate you sharing this, and hopefully we can get some more members involved in the section and do great things for families.
Definitely. And thank you for asking me. And I'm glad I was able to kind of accommodate your timeline this morning. And
Absolutely.
Hopefully you've got some information that will be entertaining.
It's perfect.